Rinse takes your laundry and hand-delivers it to your door, expertly cleaned and folded. So you could take the time once spent folding and sorting and waiting to finally pursue a whole new version of you. Like Tea Time You. Or this Tea Time You. Or even this Tea Time You.
So did you hear about Dave?
Or even Tea Time You.
So update on Dave.
It's up to you. We'll take the laundry. Rinse. It's time to be great.
Every holiday shopper's got a list, but Ross shoppers, you've got a mission. Like a gift run that turns into a disco snow globe, throw pillows, and PJs for the whole family, dog included. At Ross, holiday magic isn't about spending more, it's about giving more for less. Ross, work your magic.
This is Optimal Living Daily. Build a life based on your own definition of success, not everyone else's definition. By Shawna Scafe of simpleonpurpose.ca. And I'm Justin Malik. This is the award-winning podcast where I read articles to you to add a little bit of inspiration, motivation, or happiness to your day. A short daily practice really does go a long way. And this is all with permission from the authors or websites, just so you know. But with that, let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Build a life based on your own definition of success, not everyone else's definition. By Shawna Scafe of simpleonpurpose.ca. Success. We all want it, but we rarely put any personal clarification behind what it ought to mean to us. We want success because success means we did things quote unquote right. Success implies that we are in a great state of life. Therefore, we ought to be happy and well off. But we spend our whole lives sharing one common Western definition of a successful person. We were conditioned to think it means getting good grades, graduating from a good school, always making safe decisions, maintaining a stable job, owning a nice, new-ish house, happily raising happy kids, having an effortless marriage to a passionate, caring spouse. Oh, and maybe toss in some vacations, an elliptical machine, cute shoes, local artisan cheeses, and, the self-cleaning espresso machine. #blessed. Don't even get me started. I'm not saying these things are bad. I love my Brie, my overpriced conditioner, and my Apple TV. I'm saying these aren't what make me successful or determine my happiness. I'm saying I need to always stop and ask if I'm chasing them for me or for the version of me I think I ought to be. We are raised to think this success is a certain path. I was. My parents promoted safe and stable because who wouldn't want that for their kid? I watched my friends and mentors seek it, so I went after it. I had it. You'd probably look at me and say, I do have it. But now I'm trying to peel it off in chips, like a wall paint color that looks off in the daylight. Because this notion of success is insatiable and applies an irresponsible pressure to be happy with it. We work hard to get success, and then work hard to maintain it, and then get sick of working hard to live a life that we aren't all that passionate about after all, and really have no time to actually live because we are busy maintaining. Then we learn this type of success does not default to happiness. What a tragedy. So now we failed at being happy and need to hide it. So we try to put on a gloss of perfect. We are all doing each other an injustice of upholding this as the reality because we don't want our flaws to be seen, or our hands to get dirty, our shoes to get scuffed, and our eyes to get wet. It makes it very hard to shift our life when we work so hard at maintaining it and manufacturing the happiness it's supposed to bring us. What if we gave ourselves permission to ignore the status quo acceptance of success? After all, status quo is average, and nobody ever mined a pile of life happiness from normal. Because we all know there is more to life. We know there is more passion and more grit. We yearn for it. We seek it. We tweet at it, hoping it'll retweet us. We're side-eyeing around at others to get ideas on how to be just above the average line. Maybe because we know we have more in us, or maybe because we're seeking the unquenchable upgrade to the current success state we're in. We're looking for happiness in the wrong places. There is no one-size-fits-all happiness cure, and it sure won't be found in looking around at what other people are doing. It's time to look down deep into those parts of your heart's desires and gifts that you filed under "you could never" and "that's just weird" and "people just don't do that." Pull out those pieces, those raw and unique God-given pieces, those jagged edges that need polishing, those strengths you have that you tie up and control so you aren't too much, those visions and dreams you tuck under juvenile and fruitless because you deeply fear the shame that accompanies potential failure. Stop chasing what others are saying and finally listen to yourself. All I ask is that you give these parts of you a place to live in words and sentences. Write them down. See what your heart looks like scrawled onto a notebook at your kitchen table. I want us to ignore the status quo for a little bit because status quo is average and we are all more than average. You don't have to quit your job or sell all your belongings and travel across the country in a van, unless that's what excites you and yours. Then do it. Just make the first steps and start to listen to yourself, learn about yourself, and then hang out with yourself, unseen, no social media, no audiences. Start doing the things you enjoy. Pick up the camera or dance in your kitchen or learn how to yodel. Learn how you connect with life and enjoy life when you don't have an audience. Try new things and fail and learn. Get out of your stale routine and start being curious about life, because this is what makes you successful. Not the daily grind, not a lifestyle you're hustling for, not a fruitless work. Success is not a corporate position. It's not about having ownership of things and status that can all be stripped away. Success is a quality of living. And living can only be done well when it's done in the way that fulfills you as an individual. Success is having ownership of your heart and your soul, which cannot be taken from you. You just listened to the post titled, "Build a Life Based on Your Own Definition of Success, Not Everyone Else's Definition," by Shawna Scafe of simpleonpurpose.ca, and I'll be right back with my commentary.
This episode is brought to you by Ulta Beauty. Holiday cheer is here, and Ulta Beauty has gifts for everyone on your list. Treat them to fan-favorite gift sets from Charlotte Tilbury and Peach and Lily. Go all out with timeless fragrances from YSL, Ariana Grande, and Carolina Herrera. And you can never go wrong with an Ulta Beauty gift card. Head to Ulta Beauty for gifts that make the holidays brighter and even more beautiful. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast? Smart move. Being financially savvy? Smart move. Another smart move? Having State Farm help you create a competitive price when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Thank you to Shawna. It definitely reminded me of my own journey. And I agree, we're often given this one-size-fits-all definition of success, but I think that most people have a much more complicated and really interesting path than what we've been taught, which is basically the house, the stable job, and the family. When I was a kid, my idea of success was being a pediatrician. Later, I thought it was a high-paid executive with a corner office. Now I know it's, for me, neither of those, and it took a long time to separate myself from those expectations. It was definitely a winding path and not straightforward at all, and none of that fit the traditional mold. But for me, I wouldn't have it any other way. I was following what interested me instead of some societal checklist. I feel like I've found what truly feels successful to me. It's funny that she mentioned to take the first steps unseen, no audiences. That's how this show started. I didn't have some built-in audience. I just put it out there and people started finding it somehow. So I'd agree with what she said. Start doing things you enjoy. Don't worry about an audience or anyone else for now. But with that, thank you for being part of an audience here. It means a lot, and I wouldn't be able to keep doing this without you coming back to listen. I'd have to try to find a different version of success. But I'm quite content with this, so any help with sharing the show is always appreciated. Thank you for that. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.